9-foot rods are out, guides have been checked, your reels have been re-spooled. Waders questionably need to have a patch kit applied, but these are all signs of the fall run season. And one thing I love about the fall is just being outside, the crisp, cool air. Local summer is gone. Now it's surfcaster summer season, if you could say summertime. We're gonna be bundled up really soon if you're chasing sand eels into December and January. But I wanted to share some plug bag hacks because the average surfcaster, you can picture them, you know, driving their truck on the beach. They have all of their stuff packed into the back of their truck. A mobile tackle shop. For me, I'm different. If you see me on the beach, I'm usually in like a fishing buddy's truck, but I'm personally not the one driving on the beach. You know, it's a joke, you know, hitchhikers of the Surfcaster Society. But I want to share some plug bag hacks that I have to get you guys prepped for the fall run season if you share the same similarities with me. With like, you know, not having, I have my own vehicle obviously, but I'm not driving her on the beach. She's got 4-wheel drive, but no, that's my primary. So that's why I just stick it out with my buddies that have, you know, big lifted trucks that stay off the beach. So with my plug bag, you think that when I go fishing, I would have everything in the kitchen sink in my plug bag. But the first hack is just keeping your necessities. So going into it, you can see right here, my bucktail pouch is beyond stuffed with bucktails and swim shads and jig heads, everything that I would need during the fall run season. Of course, I have my favorite bucktail, and then I have this nice chunky bucktail that I was just throwing the other day. So obviously when you have a bucktail, you want to throw this when there's peanut bunker around or if you're on a jetty. This is a really good lure to go to. My go-to when there's peanut bunker around. I have a funny story. When I was fishing a couple fall runs ago, back when I was still in college, I had my rod on my roof rack. Something was up with my plug bag where I didn't have it in my car at that time. I think I took it out and forgot to put it back in. But I was driving home from college and I wanted to go to the beach anyway. And my rod already had a plug attached to it, but there was a peanut bunker blitz. So of course, when you have a plug that has 2 treble hooks on it, or even just 1 treble hook, the peanut bunker are gonna get smacked around and you're gonna hook a bunch of peanuts and miss fish. So I was walking on the beach, you know, just watching, because I saw a bunch of familiar trucks parked out where I was fishing. So a lot of my buddies were there. And the nicest thing happened, one of my buddies was like, here, take a bucktail, take a swim shot. And I was like, thank you so much. So now I do the same thing where another hack, I'm carrying multiples of the plugs or the bucktail or the jig, whatever I'm using, I carry multiples in case there's someone on the beach who is not catching or they're not using the right thing. I say, hey bud, here, try this and you'll get on fish. And it has worked. It worked for me and it has worked for me when I've given people plugs. And you might think, oh my God, Jenny, plugs are so expensive. Like, why are you just handing them out to people? Listen, you can, if you want to, you could spend the big bucks on a custom plug. I have done that to support my friends who are builders, but realistically, during this fall run, you don't really need a lot of the fancy. Of course, you can have a couple, especially if you're on the boat, but for starters, another plug bag hack, a plug pick. Now this is just a bent piece of metal that helps you get your plugs out easier. So of course, like I was just saying, I have a lot of poppers in here, obviously still from the mullet run, but, oh look, another popper. The fun thing of having a million plugs in here. But those will be coming out. But like I said, supporting your custom plug builder buddies is the Z-Shore. This is like the one custom plug I have in my bag for the fall run. And I would use that when there's like adult size bunker around and when I'm like, you know, waiting out on the bar and I can get into some big fish with a metal lip swimmer. Going through, when we have sand eels, a needlefish. This is a hoagie needlefish. I swapped out the hooks in the back to a single hook because this is your best bet at getting big fish on sand eels, or if you just throw an Ava jig, easy peasy. I have Ava jigs in here too, in a slot in the plug bag where it's made for like bucktails and stuff. So when you are looking at your plug bag, I always recommend guys to like go through every nook and cranny, find every space in your plug bag that you can and see what you can stuff in there. Because for my case, like I said, I travel light, but I carry multiple of the same plugs to give out to people. And I gotta find my go-to plug for the fall run season, and it is right here. Drum roll, I gotta switch out this hook. It's the Tsunami twitch bait. I love this, it comes in multiple sizes. I also have it in the Ozuri twitch bait. It's the same gig, it looks like a bunker. There's even a smaller size that looks like a peanut bunker. So this is a perfect lure imitation for when the adult bunker and the peanuts are around, if you can get into them without getting snagged up. Because remember what I said about the treble hook when there's peanuts around. Because sometimes the peanuts can be really, really small, like $half sized, and they're ready to get snagged on a hook. So that's another big thing. And obviously what I gotta do after I go home, because I've been fishing at night secretly, and I've only been using one lure, and it's obviously not these ones because these hooks need to be replaced, but replace your hooks. So that's what I'm gonna be doing when I go home today. After filming this, I'm gonna be replacing my hooks because rusty hooks are no good. So another it's more like a tip, not like a hack, obviously, because you should be doing this, and this is a prime example of what you should not be doing, is rinsing off your plug bag, because your hooks will rust out because salt water and salt in general corrodes everything. So you don't want to have hooks breaking on fish when they haven't been taken care of. So this is a prime example of just taking the time to sit down, like I'm going to do this afternoon, and switch out some old rusty hooks so I don't get tetanus or I don't break off a fish on a rusty hook. I mean, these aren't really super duper bad, but they're bad. So taking care of your old faithful plugs is another good hack to have. And the last thing is comfort when it comes to fishing, because fall run, there's a lot of times where you're fishing day and night, nonstop. You're on 3-day benders at the hook, crushing big bass on bucktails. So there's fatigue that comes to it, obviously. Like for example, if you're pencil popping all day, your arm is gonna hurt. But when it comes to plug bags, a nice little hack that I do is, obviously my plug bag is attached to my belt. So having it attached to my belt relieves some of that like shoulder fatigue if you just had the shoulder bag over your shoulder, because that's like, especially if you have a lot of plugs, that's weighing down on your shoulder. But having it attached to your belt relieves that fatigue. And this is a Z belt, and it's a thicker belt. So when I'm fishing all day, it has a thicker back support. So literally, like, I'll like lean back a little and crack my back, and the support from this belt helps out a lot. It's kind of like sad to say, but like a back brace if you hurt yourself. Like if you're on the job and you hurt yourself, if you wear a back brace, it's literally like this. And another hack that you can do that I don't have on this belt, but I do have when I go fly fishing on that belt, is obviously my bag is attached to my belt, but also I have my strap over my shoulder. So I have that belt support holding my plug bag, but then I also have it wrapped around my shoulder too for extra support. So that's basically like, you know, some good hacks for kicking off the fall run season, being a hitchhiking surfcaster like myself. And one other thing is always have leaders pre-tied, like I said, nook and crannies. There's literally a zipper up here and another pouch for my leader material, my clips, everything. So I have pre-tied leaders. You can even do pre-tied sand eel teaser leaders with a sand eel teaser on the top and then a clip on the bottom for your hoagie or your Ava jig. It's all prep, and now's the time to prep. And you could be like me, you could be fishing at night secretly, but the biggest thing is once they get here, oh boy, I know some guys are already been getting into fish, especially up in Long Island and of course in Massachusetts, New England, but New Jersey, where I am, buckle up, because I know once they start to show here, oh boy, it is helter-skelter, shoulder-to-shoulder fishing the beach. You gotta be down here to see it, and it's always a great time. It's always a good time to see people I know catching fish, I'm catching fish, I'm helping other people catch fish, and hopefully the hacks that I presented to you here help you if you're just the angler with a plug bag and a belt and get yourselves ready to go. And one last hack just for fun. If your buddies say they've been on fish, and if you see them in person and they're telling you face to face that they've been on fish, check their thumbs. Bass thumb is real. That's one way. If you want to be a true surf casting fisherman detective, check your buddy's thumbs to see if they have bass thumb. Then you can believe it or not if they've been on fish or not. So good luck everyone this fall run season. I can't wait to see you all out in the surf, and I can't wait to get on some fish again. So let's go.